Well, welcome back to The Megan Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going through my Pinterest tattoo idea board because I'm going through tattoos I wanted but never got. So we're gonna go through some trends that I missed out on or some ideas that I liked at a time but never followed through with. And we're gonna see if there are any that I would still get in the future. The Megan Show. I've used Pinterest for years, probably since the beginning of college, 10 years ago or so, but this particular tattoo idea board has only been in the works for a couple of years. I'm going to be looking down at my computer where I've got my Pinterest board loaded up, so I just want to take you through some of the ideas that I never got. So starting off, there is this really pretty neo-traditional flowers design that I was originally thinking for a thigh piece. So when I pinned these first few ideas, I did not have any tattoos on both of the top of my thighs, I believe. So I was first thinking that long time ago, I thought I would have one leg of all black and gray and one leg of all color. Since then, I have both on each leg now, so that idea's out the window, but that's all right. Things change over the years. So I really love these floral designs, specifically these ones with ornate black work on the edges. This one that had really pretty line work at the bottom, and then these huge flowers with the ornate black coming up over it. This one is a wider idea, so I'm not sure if I thought that one was going to be for my leg or somewhere else, but I thought that one was really pretty. I loved these kind of moth or butterfly ideas in the neo-traditional / traditional style. These ones that have moons over top of them that really made a whole image. I think that was the idea for a thigh piece as well, like having the florals underneath the moth or butterfly and then having something over it to really make a larger piece on the thigh. I loved how colorful these designs were, but I just never was fully sold, so I just kept it pushing. Here's another example of these really pretty neo-traditional floral designs that I either thought one on each leg or something like that, but I love the ornate little beading and the black work with these really pretty stuff. I still love this style of tattooing, and maybe I'll get something in the future along these lines, but I just have not yet. So scrolling up, I've got a lot of these mini tattoo design, like flash sheets, that I guess, so these are like all the 13, so this was probably in the days before I got my 13 on my arm in 2022, that I was wanting a 13 tattoo for my birthday being on January 13th. I was looking at little ideas, little 13 flash pieces, not really sold on any of those, but it was more just getting ideas of what I could get. Some just smaller designs, pretty cool, but nothing I was 100% set on. I think this flash sheet was really interesting with the skull one with the wings and the 13 and the cherries that's on fire. This is more traditional style, Sailor Jerry style. Really cool stuff. Did not end up getting any of those. And then what is so funny is that I had two of these cute clown girls on here, and this is way before I ever found the artist that I got my clown girl, more than a year or 2 years before. So when I pinned these really cute clown girls, I had no idea I would eventually get one from an artist in Florida when I was on a beach trip. So that is some fun foreshadowing right there. This one's really cute with the collar and the hat, the makeup with the red on it. That's kind of the idea of what I ended up getting. This one's really cool with the black and white and red, very stark. I love the red around the collar. I think that is really nice. Love the hair. The hair reminds me of mine, the traditional style of how they shade black hair. I thought that was really pretty. Love both of those still, and it's just funny I ended up getting one however many months later after pinning those. Then there were a lot of these kind of floral vases I thought were pretty. These kind of traditional flowers in a vase. I thought that would be a nice leg tattoo idea, but I passed on those. And then we start getting into some sun and moon. You'll see more of that later, I think, but this sheet that has a sun and a moon and a cowgirl with the flower, really cute. Now I have two tattoos with hearts. I've got my large arm heart with flowers, and then of course my clown girl has hearts incorporated in that design. But I didn't have any of that at this time when I pinned this one, so that's kind of funny. But now at this point, I'm not sure if I would keep getting all kinds of hearts because it's getting a little redundant. I don't want to have too many of the same looking tattoos or same design ideas. I really love this heart with flowers with that the leaves are making the heart. I think that is super pretty. This is kind of a precursor to the heart I ended up getting on my arm. I think I was starting to pin these around the time right before I found the idea for my heart. I love these ornate umbrellas in the traditional, neo-traditional style with the raindrops, and some of these have lightning bolts. That's really cool. The traditional flowers, those are really cool. I think I still would consider potentially getting an umbrella in the future somewhere on my body, but I just love the way these all looked and the way they looked together. Now we're getting into what inspired my heart tattoo on my arm. I found this idea. I loved the bold red heart with no black outline. I thought that was really beautiful. And I found this design that had more colorful flowers going across it. But then this one I loved even more with the black and white flower going through that red heart. This is what really, really inspired me. And I'll show how my tattoo ended up turning out. The flowers he drew up were similar to that first one, and we did decide to keep them just black and white or black and skin color. But after that touch-up that I got just maybe a couple months after the initial tattoo, it has stayed very nice and solid. As soon as you get one, you're already thinking of ideas for the one after that. So I started to pin some traditional panther tattoos, but this one, the pink with the pink hearts, oh my gosh, I was in love with this design. I wasn't 100% set on it, but I did love the pink. And I think the reason I was hesitant was because a traditional panther is always going to be a black panther, and it's going to be solid usually. I didn't know if it would be too much of a tattoo sin to get this all pink with the hearts. And you know, it's a panther, it's kind of a harsher symbol. I loved the idea, and I knew it's, you know, a very classic traditional tattoo idea, but I also wasn't sure if it 100% fit for me, so that's why I was hesitant. But I did pin a ton of them, as you can see. I think I liked even more this traditional black panther with the red hearts. The black and red stood out. I love the way that looks, but again, wasn't 100% sure. And the full body design is kind of the more traditional way to go, and I just still wasn't sure if that was 100% for me. But then I even found a panther head with the hearts, thought that was really cool. I love the way that looks. I might be more inclined to get just the head instead of a full body, but again, never followed through with that one. Pinned a ton of them though. Then we get into, there's another one of these moons that's very similar to the one earlier. Love the way that looks. Still, I'm not sure. Might not get that, but still love the way it looks. I started to pin a lot of snakes though. I think these are just the first few. There's going to be more later. Classic snake with the dagger piercing right through. I love these snakes that have the florals making up the design of the snake. I think that is super pretty. This had pink flowers. You know, pink is a theme, of course, with my tattoos. And then we get into, okay, this must be around the time that I was about to get my large floral leg piece, because this design is what basically inspired it all together. I sent this to my artist and he drew up his own version. I know there is controversy of people going on Pinterest to get their tattoo ideas, but I think, or I hope, the way I did it was a little more ethical. I would show a design to my artist and then he'd draw up his own version. So I'm hoping that that doesn't break the tattoo ethical laws, but because for me, Pinterest is for the ideas. I mean, they do help spark ideas, and then you hope that your artist draws their own version. So that's all I'll say about that. I really love these crying heart girl faces. Now that is super, super cute. I think this was right around the time, again, that I had just gotten the heart on my arm, so I probably was thinking I don't need another large heart. But love the shading on these, really pretty, and of course like a matching, one on each leg type of situation, but did not follow through on those. Then I started thinking, well, I would really love a red ink tattoo, just something that is purely red ink. This red ink snake, super pretty. I love the way that looks. Similar with the panther, I was thinking a snake maybe not 100% fits me. I love the way it looks, but I'm not sure if it would fit in for me personally, so that's why I've still not gotten a snake. I love this flash sheet that's got some black designs that incorporate that incorporate red in such a fun way. Of course, they've got a panther with the red hearts. I love this red heart that's got like squigglies that make up that design. That sun and moon, really intricate kind of one-line designs where they just keep going. Really cool. Love the way that sheet looks. For this one with bold black and red, I love the way that looks. The cloud raining in on that cup, super pretty design, but just took inspiration from that, thinking it was a beautiful piece of art, but did not follow through with getting it on my body. Now we're going into some more snakes. Let me first touch on this really ornate heart, complete black work here. This is really cool. Again, with a large heart, I knew I had just gotten my red heart, so did not want to get another large heart so quickly after that. Then there's some more snakes. Cool snake tattoos. That one's pretty with the flower in the middle. Now here is some sun and moon with a lot of stuff underneath of it. Again, like a one on each leg, but I think I had just done my floral on the one leg, so I think I just liked this idea, but didn't know exactly what placement I would put, so I just kept on pushing. Some more snakes. This one's cool. It's just basically line work with some florals on the inside. That's really pretty. I think I am inclined to maybe lean toward that type of thing with a snake, a more simplistic design than more the traditional style that's colorful. I think I would lean more towards just black work if I ever got a snake. Of course, I had to pin a dinosaur head tattoo. I love Jurassic Park. I'm sorry. I love Jurassic World too. The first one, that is. The second and third, not as good, but the very first Jurassic World when they remade it, love that one. But I'm not sure that I would actually get a dinosaur tattoo, but I like the idea of it. Then I was thinking I kind of wanted a traditional skull. Now, when I say traditional, I mean as in traditional symbolism, not necessarily traditional tattoo style. This one I pinned was just a kind of line work, very realistic looking skull with some traditional flowers around it, but I loved kind of the exactness of how this skull looked and the tiny mark lines. I thought they were very interesting, but did not follow through on that. Now we're getting into my phase where right after I got my large floral piece, I almost immediately started thinking I want a sun and moon kind of on either side of my knee on this right leg, because there was space right at the bottom of that floral tattoo, and I was like, I will get a sun and moon on this leg right now. And so I started pinning all kinds of suns and moons. This moon had florals on the inside. I think that was kind of what I was genuinely thinking I was going to be getting. This one was a fully fledged idea. I was on my way. I didn't set up an appointment or anything, but I was pretty sure that I really wanted this on either side of my thigh. And that's kind of something funny to point out. For me, I'm somewhat spontaneous when it comes to getting tattoos, but not extremely spontaneous. There is some thought that goes into it before actually getting it. So with all of my tattoos, I'm pretty sure I've thought about it for at least a month, a couple of months, and then really mulled over that design and really decided where I want it before I've actually gotten it. So this was one of those times where I really had thought about it for a couple of months, and then I ended up deciding against it. And I guess I'm all right with that. I think I ended up deciding that was going to be a little heavy looking to have a large sun and moon right on either side of my knee, and I wasn't sure that the placement would do it justice and kind of how they would sit. So I did end up axing that after a while, but I loved all these designs. I would find a lot of suns and moons that would go together. I love the idea of the sun having a pretty little face with the eyes and eyelashes. I loved all the big sun rays going different ways. I liked the idea, and again, never say never, but I just ended up not going with my original thought on that, and so we just moved right along. Then I started pinning some cherubs, because when I went to, or before I was knowing I was going to a tattoo convention last summer, I thought I had this small space where I did end up getting a cherub at that convention, and so before the convention, started to pin some different cherubs. I knew I wanted them in the soft black and gray style, some really cute ones, some shooting bows and arrows. I love this one where the little boy was kissing the little girl cherub, really precious. But I ended up going with, the one singular cherub laying on the cloud. I just pinned several different versions in that kind of soft black and gray style. This one was really cute, that's kind of contemplating, looking around, has a little halo over its head, really cute. This was probably the most similar to what I ended up getting. My artist drew a really good one. I also, at that time, when I knew I had this one little space I wanted to fill, and I had started pinning all the cherubs, I then was simultaneously pinning these swallows, because I was thinking that could fit in that spot too. A traditional bird, really cute one, could be drawn in all kinds of different ways. Tattoo artists are very familiar with drawing little birds like this, but I did end up going with the cherub, which I'm happy with, but I did pin a lot of those swallows as well. Then this one. Now, this one is one of the top contenders for one I might eventually get. So, as we remember a little bit ago, I was talking about the panthers, the classic, traditional black panthers, or the ones that have hearts. Much later, I found this tattoo design. This is gorgeous in the neon colors, a panther head. I love the pink. It's outlined in what looks like red. Love the colors. I was really, really close to making an appointment for this before I ended up getting my most recent tattoo, which is my retro TV. So that is all the next several designs on here. Here is Brittany Broski's retro TV that started it all with wanting to get this. I love this Twilight Zone idea. It is done beautifully. It's really small and it is so detailed. It's gorgeous. And so I started pinning other retro TVs. Here's one with the Twilight Zone swirl. I was originally thinking maybe I'd get the swirl in the middle of the screen, or I would get static. I love this. Now this shape is what TVs looked like in the 90s and early 2000s when I was growing up. But I was still set on wanting to get, the antenna and the long legs of like a 1960s television where it's like a piece of furniture. So I did love the way this kind of 2000s looking TV looked with the VHS, but I kind of wanted it to be that more retro. So we've got all these vintage retro TVs, and I did end up getting, my artist drew something quite similar to this one, except instead of getting a cracked screen, we did just static on the screen, and I'm super happy with how that turned out. He did a great job. So yeah, that is my entire Pinterest board up to present. Like I said, I just got this tattoo in December, so it's pretty recent. I haven't started thinking of what the next tattoo will be, but you can comment down below some ideas you think I might like. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you so much for watching The Megan Show.